So, what would you say is the importance for such a large organization to really adopt this mindset in all their processes, and how does it really benefit them in the long run?
Okay. Okay. So see, basically how it works is right now design thinking is such an important tool, such a powerful tool that there is no more an option left for big organizations. Okay, it's a must now. You have to go that way. You call it a design thinking procedure or not, you have to follow this methodology. You have to start with your user, stay close to them and understand. Now, what happens with big organizations, being a part of Mahindra, I felt this, and also watching very closely other big organizations in auto, farm sector and various other sectors, I realized that the sheer magnitude of a organization, a big organization, is the peril, because it's very difficult to implement something new in a big organization. It's very difficult. And what actually helps over there is persistence. Like if you are somebody, if the organization is something which believes in design thinking, believes that this is something that I want to do, then they will go ahead and implement it whatsoever. Whatever happens, they will go ahead and do it. But if you look at the magnitude of change that you have to do to bring in this new methodology in your system, many people stop over there and say, okay, let us cross over this project, we will do it next project, and that next project never comes. But why they should be doing, if you ask me, I would say simply go ahead and look at the Fortune 500 companies. Okay, take the data of 2010, okay, and take the data for 2020. Surprising fact is, of the top 10 names you will find, only 3 are there now. Okay, and most surprising fact is, if you go beyond 20 or within 20, 10 to 20, you won't find more than 2 more. So essentially 5 out of the ones who are there in the top 10 in 2010, they're not there today. So that's an essential peril. Like, you cannot just ignore saying that no, this is something I don't really need to look at because this is new. This is going to create my life a little more difficult. What happens is, once we used to use this terminologies called entry barriers and all those stuff in industries. Now businesses are getting democratized. Now startups who really understand that what the problem essentially lie with the stakeholders. Now watch me, I am not talking about customers anymore, I'm saying stakeholders. And the reason why I'm telling this is because if you take a platform kind of a organization like say Zomato, where there is a customer on one end, there is a rider on the other hand, there is a restaurant owner on the other hand. So there are multiple people. So that's where you should be staying close to your stakeholder, understand where the problem lies, and then apply design thinking to implement a solution. Otherwise, if a new startup identifies that, and by the time you're thinking of implementing, they may have just taken up some technology, and this is a time of exponential, it's an era of exponentiality here. So this is going to go like bonkers. One suggestion that I will have for all the listeners who are listening to this is, go back and look at a case study of Dainik Bhaskar. This is in 1996. It's an old story. Dainik Bhaskar, how on the very first day of the launch in Jaipur, they became the #1 newspaper in Jaipur. How did it that? Just read that note. That will be very, very interesting to read on context of this.